computer. All right, we are live. Folks, what is happening? So today I am joined by Roisin Phelan. Roisin, you are this month 7, I believe, is it? You're in the academy now 7 months.
Yeah, 7 months. Yeah.
Awesome, awesome. And guys, I got Roisin on because her story's fucking awesome. And I don't want to swear in these things because I swear all the time. It's good. But I got Roisin on basically to share her story from where she was, where she is now, and where she's planning on going in the future, which has been awesome. And so Roisin, I appreciate you coming on. Give me the next 10-ish minutes of your time. Thank you so much. But Roisin, for the guys who don't know, so people watching this would be some of the guys would be within the academy, but most people would be outside of the academy, probably thinking about what is involved and so on. So we just tell us a little bit about yourself, like what you do, where you're from, like and your career and so on.
Yeah. So my name is Roisin Phelan. I'm 26. I'm from Kilkenny. I moved to Limerick age 17. Spent 8 years there between studying and training for my job. I work as an accountant now in Dublin. So I've been here 2 years. I enjoy hiking in my free time, and I try and go on holidays as much as possible. City breaks being my favorite. But yeah,
Hmm.
that's me.
Awesome, awesome. And then Roshan, tell me, so like why did you get started on the program? Like what were you struggling with prior to joining the DG Academy?
So basically, since I've been a teenager, similar to a lot of females, I think nowadays, I just struggled a lot with eating in general, struggled with body confidence. I feel like I joined, gave up, restarted so many fitness plans, weight loss programs, like gyms, nothing ever stuck. And I
Hmm.
identified last year that the reason why nothing stuck was because of my mindset around eating. So I just knew that I had to change my mindset. My biggest thing was that I experienced a lot of guilt around eating.
Hmm.
I would binge eat a lot. If I was feeling stressed, if there was something going on in my life, I would find comfort in food, and then I would feel guilty almost immediately after it happens. I knew that this needed to change. The biggest thing, why it was last year that I chose to change, I knew that it was
Hmm.
an issue for years. So me and my partner were on holidays in Italy, and what was supposed to be an amazing holiday, like supposed to be enjoying it to the fullest, I was anxious around food. I was anxious around my body, like, getting worried about eating too much pasta or pizza. And I just knew that that wasn't right to be in such an amazing country with my
Hmm.
partner, like supposed to be enjoying it. And I was feeling anxious around food, feeling guilty after every meal. And I was like, this is not right. Like, I can't, this is not sustainable. Like, I can't
Hmm.
go on another holiday and have it ruined again because of these feelings. So that's when I knew I wanted to change. I had been following Dara for months. I really liked his content because he does focus, even though he does focus a lot on weight loss and fitness, a huge part of his program is around mindset. And I knew that that's what I needed to change in order to see some differences.
Hmm. Awesome, Roshan.
Yeah.
Appreciate the
Mm.
honesty there. So a lot of
Yeah.
people can relate to that as well. And
Mhm.
then so you're 7-ish months into the program. So how do you feel this far into the program?
Yeah, I have to say, I feel great, like a completely different person. The biggest thing is my mindset change. So like I
Hmm.
said, like one of the things coming into the program was that I just had to change my mindset. So like prior to the program, like I said, I would have had feelings of guilt and a lot of binge eating would have went on. And that's pretty much gone now. Dara has some really good modules in his course, which I have studied, and they have helped me a lot. um, yeah, I have great like systems in place with the help of Dara. Um, like every day I'm enjoying the process. Like every
Hmm.
day is not a struggle anymore like it was before. My anxiety in general has decreased. Like I would have prior to the program, I would have had like probably 4 out of 7 bad days, we'll call it, where I would have been
Hmm.
feeling like bad about myself, about my body, feelings of anxiety. Like that's quite minimal now. Like
Brilliant.
I have the normal struggles that everyone kind of has to deal with relating to work or family or whatever. But like my body confidence has improved greatly. Like I still have a good way to go. But so far after 7 months, like the changes are unbelievable. Like this time last year, the person I was that back then versus now is just completely different.
Awesome, Roshan. Love that. So tell me then, like, what are your biggest results to date? or like your biggest wins, I suppose?
Yeah, so I would have to say my number one would be the mindset change. I know I've
Mm,
discussed it a bit already, but that for me is definitely my number one. Mainly because, like I said, I've struggled since I was a teenager with just eating and body confidence and self-esteem issues and everything. And just my mindset shift around food the past 7 months has fixed a lot of those problems and improved on them. Like my self-esteem is like through the roof now. Body confidence has improved greatly. Just the whole like being able to go out and enjoy a meal.
mm,
I felt like I couldn't do that for years. Like for years, I felt like I couldn't do that. And I mentioned this to Dara at the time, but Christmas just gone was probably the first Christmas in years that I actually enjoyed myself. Like,
fast.
I drank and I ate and I met with friends as much as I could and I didn't like restrict myself. And I just reset, like I just
Mm,
reset after New Year's and didn't feel guilty. And every year, like I used to just like on the lead up to Christmas be like, oh, I have to diet because I know I'm going to eat so much over Christmas. And then like that would happen and I would just feel awful in January. I would feel like,
mm,
oh, I'm after eating so much and I would be disgusted with myself. And even though like it's completely normal, it's Christmas and you're with friends and family and you're meeting people you haven't seen in a while. And, eating and drinking is like in our culture as well. So yeah, that was like one of my big wins, just the mindset shift and like feeling good at Christmas time for the first time in years, basically. And then my number two one then is definitely the weight loss. So one of my other goals joining the program was that I just wanted to shift some weight, um, kind of like as a secondary goal on top of the building body
mm.
confidence and all that. So yeah, with the training program that Dara has provided for me, it was like a personalized plan. With that, along with his guidance around healthy eating and calories and fitness goals, I've achieved really good weight loss goals. So one of my goals, say, since joining the program, there was X amount of weight I wanted to shift. I feel like I've gotten to that place now, and it's the biggest motivator. Seeing the progress is like the biggest motivator. I do have a bit to go. I have made further fitness goals and weight loss goals for myself, and seeing the progress is just motivating me more and more to achieve those goals.
Awesome, Motion. Love that. Love that.
Yeah.
And you touched on then that you have better systems in place and so on. So, like, what do you owe your success to? Like, can you give an example of some of the systems you have in place and anything
Mhm.
else that you feel that has helped you with your current success?
Yeah. So one of the modules actually I started with Dara when I joined was winning habits. So it's about building habits and trying to get rid of bad ones, building new ones, and kind of organizing the systems you have, raising your standards, etc. So some of the habits that I've built is basically setting myself non-negotiable goals each day. So step goals, for example. So I have like a step goal every day. I have a water intake goal. Obviously, I have my calorie goal, and then I have like my workout goal. So if I'm doing a
Mm,
workout that day to undertake that goal. So having those in place is really good. Also another thing is like having Dara as a coach. The accountability factor is there. That has helped me greatly. Trying to think now of anything else. Yeah, they're kind of like the that. So you said they're the reasons for my success, really. Yeah,
mm,
like those habits that I have built basically, and just consistency is actually the biggest thing that has helped me. Because like you're going to have off days, and that doesn't mean you have to give up. Like there has been
mm,
times when I've wanted to give up, but you just have to be consistent and trust the process. And like it's not going to be like this all the time. It's going to be
mm,
rocky. It's going to be up and down, up and down. But then when you compare your progress from day one to 6 months later, like it's going to be good, with the
mm.
consistency and the standards in place and the systems in place. It's going to be good progress. And that's what I've seen the last 7 months.
Awesome, awesome. And I think the last point there you mentioned, like about starting point 6, 7 months later, people obviously in between when they get that bad day, they go, ah, fucking they give up. Where you're giving a perfect example of no, trust the process, be consistent, and you'll see the results at the end, which is awesome. I love that.
Yeah. Yeah,
Uh,
exactly. Like there.
mm.
Yeah. No, go ahead.
No, no, go on. Continue on,
I
you're
was
going to say
just going to say, just to add to that point, I said it already, but there was so many days that I wanted to throw in the towel, especially in the early days. I
Mm,
was just like, oh, this, he's trying to get me to do too much, and this is all too much. And then like I learned then, you have your modules on like time management and organizing your schedule. And then I did those modules, and it's so simple in theory, like it
mm,
really is. But when you actually do it, then you're like, God, this is actually, I can actually fit everything in. I just need to
yeah,
organize my time better.
mm.
But it did seem overwhelming at the start. But yeah, just being consistent, trusting the process is the best thing. Yeah.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. And I'm
Mm.
sure like a lot of people need to hear that as well, which is class, Roisin. And
Yeah.
then like people listening to this, they're probably like interested in joining the academy. You might be on the fence about it or whatever. Like people who are on the fence with joining, or like maybe they just need that little push to reach out, whatever. What would you say to those
Yeah.
people?
Um, I would probably, if they're thinking of joining and they just need that push, I would just say sit down and ask yourself what you want to change in your life. How badly do you want it, and be so honest with yourself. Like you have to come to some hard truths to yourself. Like I had to admit to myself, like I have to lose weight. I have to change my mindset around eating, and I have to
Mm,
stop this binge eating. And like they're kind of ugly hard truths, and you just have to be honest with yourself, and you have to really figure out, like, delve deep down and be like, why do I want this? And like what I did was I was like, okay, in 2 years I want to be this kind of person. And then I was like, okay, I need someone to help me with this.
mm.
And then that's when I chose then to go to Dara. Yeah.
Awesome, Roisin, awesome.
Mm.
And my last question then, like, so like the last 7 months have been awesome. Like I'm excited to see you prosper in the coming months as well. So like what's the kind of the main goal for yourself going forward? Like,
Yeah, I have I did my goal setting there with you recently, but I have
mm,
some personal goals, some financial goals. My biggest thing, there's some big travel goals there for 2023. So
brilliant.
one of them I'm actually starting next month, which is the Camino. But my biggest personal goal would be just a further weight loss goal.
Mm,
And yeah, I have some really good systems and standards in place, and the progress I've seen the last few months is my biggest motivator. So that's kind of my biggest personal goal for 2023. I want to get stronger this year. So the current training program that I'm on with you, I'm really enjoying, but I think in a few weeks I'm going to be ready for kind of the next stage,
mm,
kind of bump me up a bit,
yeah.
just to get that extra strength. Um, but yeah, feeling good. Feeling very like I can achieve these goals. Like it's the goals I have set when I wrote them down on the page, I was like, these are mad. Like, I would never have thought I could do these like this time
Yeah.
last year. And then actually achieving the goals is like, wow, like I actually can do it. But yeah, it's about believing in yourself. And then it's about how badly you want it as well.
Mm.
That's what I think. Yeah, definitely.
Awesome. Roisin, I
Mm,
appreciate that. That was like
yeah.
one of my favorite testimonies. You're pure honest there and get a lot of insight. So to the folks watching it or listening to it, either or,
Mm,
Roisin's well, she's through 7 months. She's gonna be here for another while yet, and she's been kicking ass. And like I'm sure Roisin, when we first had a first conversation, there's been anxiety and nervousness about it. It's totally normal. But the transformation in you because you took that
mm,
first step is awesome. So folks, if you are interested in hearing about the academy and listening to or getting insight in terms of how it's going to help you change your life, just drop me a message, guys, or the link below on either SoundCloud or YouTube, whatever. Just click the link and we can book a call, basically. But Roisin, I appreciate that. Thank you so much, girl.
Thanks, Sarah.